Hello dear friends and welcome. I'm so happy you've joined me today. This story is for everyone, children, teens, and adults alike. It's a story about peace, kindness, and finding quiet glory in the everyday moments of life. So, find a cozy spot, perhaps with a warm drink or a soft blanket, and let's step together into this gentle tale. Our story begins in a small village at the edge of a shining lake. The cottages there are built of stone, with shutters painted in cheerful colors and gardens spilling over with marigolds, lavender, and roses. Every morning, sunlight glitters across the lake, making it look like 1,000 tiny stars have come down to rest on the water. The air smells of pine from the nearby forest, and the soft chiming of church bells floats on the breeze. In one of these cottages lives a young man named Elias. He works with his father in the village bakery, kneading bread before dawn so the town wakes to the scent of fresh loaves. Elias is quiet, thoughtful, and often feels unsure of himself. He wonders if he will ever do something grand, something that will make him stand out. He looks at the world and asks himself if he will ever find his glory. But here, in this peaceful village, glory doesn't arrive in shining armor or grand speeches. It comes softly, like morning light across the lake, or the kindness in a neighbor's smile. And soon, Elias will begin to see that his place in the world has always been far more meaningful than he imagined. One bright spring morning, Elias carried a basket of warm bread to the meadow, where children often played. The meadow was filled with daisies, tall grasses, and the hum of honeybees drifting lazily from bloom to bloom. The children greeted him with cheerful laughter, rushing to take the bread he had brought. He watched as they shared it, tearing the loaves into pieces, crumbs scattering like golden seeds in the grass. Elias sat beneath an oak tree, watching them play. A little girl with freckles and a blue ribbon in her hair ran up to him, holding a piece of bread. "Thank you," she said simply, her smile bright as sunshine. "It's the best part of my day." Something in her words lingered with him. He had always thought of baking as ordinary, but to these children, the bread meant comfort and joy. Perhaps, he thought, even small acts carried a quiet kind of glory. That evening, he returned home and told his grandmother about the moment. She nodded, her eyes twinkling. "Glory isn't in grand things, Elias," she said gently. "It's in the warmth you bring to others, in the love baked into every loaf you make. That is what lasts. That is what shines." As night fell, Elias lay in bed, listening to the lake lap softly against the shore. He began to understand. Glory might not be far away. It might already live in his hands, his heart, and the way he cared for others. Days passed, and Elias continued his work at the bakery with a lighter heart. He still rose before dawn, still kneaded the dough until it was smooth and soft, still carried baskets of bread through the village. But now, he noticed the joy it brought. The old woman who always smiled as she received her loaf, the children who giggled as they tore into the crust, the neighbors who gathered around the smell of fresh rolls, it all glowed with quiet meaning. One evening, as the sun set over the lake in a blaze of gold and rose, the whole village gathered for the spring festival. Lanterns swayed from the trees, music drifted across the square, and laughter filled the air. Elias stood at the bakery stall, handing out warm rolls dusted with sugar. To his surprise, people thanked him again and again, not only for the bread but for his kindness, his steady smile, his presence. In that moment, Elias finally understood. Glory wasn't about standing above others. It was about lifting others up, about the love we weave into simple things. His hands, shaping dough. His heart, steady in giving. This was his glory. And so, dear friends, our gentle story comes to an end. I hope it filled you with warmth and peace. If you enjoyed this tale, I invite you to like, subscribe, and return for more cozy stories in the future. Until then, may you always see the quiet glory in your own life.